Speak English anyway, a place where confidence matters more than perfection, and every voice deserves to be heard.
Hey people, I'm Linda.
And I'm Ethan. And today we're talking about the most frustrating feeling in the whole journey. Not being a beginner, being stuck.
Being stuck. Oh, this one is real. Let me describe it and tell me if this is you, people. At the beginning, you improved so fast. Every week you learned tons of new words, you could feel yourself getting better, it was exciting. And then, one day, the fast progress just stopped. You study, you practice, and you feel like you're standing completely still.
The dreaded plateau. I have lived on that plateau. I have a house there.
You built a house on the plateau. And it's such a demoralizing place because you're still working, but you can't feel yourself improving anymore. And that gap between effort and visible progress is where most intermediate learners quit. Not beginners, intermediates, people who already came so far.
That's so sad. They climbed the whole mountain and quit near the top.
They quit near the top because the top of the mountain is where it stops feeling exciting. So today we're going to understand why the plateau happens, because once you understand it, it stops being scary. And then we'll talk about how to get moving again. But first, the big reframe. Ready?
Ready.
The plateau is not a sign you've stopped improving. It's a sign you've already improved a lot.
Wait, the stuck feeling means I got better?
It means you got much better. Let me explain, because this is beautiful. In the beginning, you knew almost nothing, so everything was new. Every word was a big jump. Learn hello, thank you, water, instant, obvious progress. The improvement was huge and easy to see because you started from zero.
So early progress feels big because I had nothing before.
Exactly. But now you already know the common words, the basic grammar, the everyday phrases. You've got the big, obvious stuff. So the things left to learn are smaller, rarer, more subtle. You're still improving, but the improvements are tiny and hard to notice. You went from adding big rocks to adding fine sand.
Big rocks to fine sand. So the pile is still growing, I just can't see each grain.
The pile is still growing, you just can't see each grain. That's the whole plateau in one image. Early on, you added boulders and the pile jumped. Now you're adding sand grain by grain. The pile is still getting bigger. Actually, you're adding more than before. But each addition is so small, it's invisible. Progress didn't stop. It just got quiet.
Progress got quiet. That's much less scary than progress stopped.
It's completely different. I stopped improving makes you quit. My improvement got quiet and subtle makes you keep going with patience. Same plateau, totally different story. And the second story is the true one.
Can I tell you what the plateau did to my head specifically?
Please.
It made me think I'd hit my limit. Like, okay, this is just how good I get. Some people are meant to be fluent and I'm meant to be this. I genuinely believed I'd reached my ceiling.
Oh, that's the most dangerous plateau thought there is. This is my limit. And it's almost always a lie, because what feels like a ceiling is really just the end of the easy part. You reached the top of the beginner slope and mistook it for the top of the whole mountain. But there's a whole mountain above the beginner slope. You just couldn't see it from where you stood.
So it wasn't my ceiling, it was just the end of the easy floor.
The end of the easy floor, not your ceiling. Nobody's real limit is at the intermediate plateau. That's just where the free, fast progress runs out and the slower, earned progress begins. Feeling like you've hit your limit isn't information about your ability, it's just the feeling of the road getting flatter. Every fluent person felt exactly that same false ceiling and walked right through it.
So the ceiling was painted on the floor. It wasn't real.
The ceiling was painted on the floor. What a perfect way to put it. You can walk right through it because it was never a real wall, just a feeling that looked like one. And the moment you stop believing this is my limit, you free yourself to keep climbing. Your real limit is so much higher than the plateau. Honestly, most people never even get close to it. Now here's another reason the plateau feels so stuck. And it's actually kind of wonderful once you get it. At the intermediate level, you often improve in ways you literally cannot feel.
Invisible improvements. Tell me more.
So think about what getting better means now. It's not just new words, it's speaking a little more smoothly, understanding a little faster, feeling a little more relaxed, making slightly fewer mistakes. These are real improvements, but they're feelings, not facts you can count. You can't hold them up and say, look, I learned 10 of these today.
So I am getting better, I just can't measure it.
You can't measure it. So your brain says nothing's happening. But something is happening. Deep down, quietly, your brain is doing background work, strengthening connections, making the English more automatic. It's like a phone updating in the background. The screen looks frozen, but inside, everything's being upgraded.
My brain is buffering. Please wait.
Your brain is buffering, and buffering looks like nothing, but it's actually loading the next level. A lot of plateau time is really your brain making everything you already learned deeper and more solid, so that later, it all comes out faster and easier. You're not stuck, you're consolidating.
So the flat part is where things become permanent.
The flat part is where things become permanent. That's such a good way to say it. The exciting early climb was fragile. You learned fast, but forgot fast too. The plateau is where all that shaky knowledge turns into something solid and reliable. It's not wasted time. It's the time that makes your English actually stick.
And a phrase for today?
Perfect timing to hit a wall. It means to reach a point where you can't seem to progress. I hit a wall with my English. Everyone hits the wall. The wall is normal. And here's the secret. The wall isn't the end of the road. It's just a door you haven't found the handle for yet.
The wall is a door. I like that.
The wall is always a door. And in a minute, we'll find the handle, because there are real things you can do to break through a plateau. It's not just about waiting. But you have to start by not panicking and not quitting. The people who quit at the wall never find out it was a door.
Here's what always gets me, though. How long does the plateau last? Because it feels infinite.
And that's part of what makes it hard. It feels infinite because you can't see the end from inside it. The honest answer is, it varies. Sometimes weeks, sometimes months. But here's the thing that helps. The plateau ends much sooner when you stop staring at it.
Stop staring at it. What do you mean?
I mean, when you're anxiously checking, am I better yet? Am I better yet? Every single day, the plateau feels endless and painful, like watching a kettle that won't boil. But when you just relax, keep doing your English because you enjoy it, and stop measuring every day, one day you look up and you've already moved. The watched plateau feels the longest.
The watched kettle never boils.
The watched kettle never boils. Same energy. So take the pressure off yourself. You don't have to feel progress every day. You just have to keep showing up and let the progress happen in its own time, quietly, when you're not staring. Enjoy the English itself, not just the improving. That's how the flat road passes faster.
So enjoying it is actually a strategy, not a distraction.
Enjoying it is a strategy. The people who get through plateaus best are usually the ones who found a way to love the process, watching shows they adore, chatting about things they care about, so the flat part doesn't feel like suffering. It just feels like life with English in it. And meanwhile, quietly, the breakthrough builds. Fun is the fuel that carries you across the flat. Okay, let's find the handle, because sometimes the plateau really is your brain consolidating. But sometimes, honestly, it's because you got comfortable, and comfort is the enemy of growth.
Uh-oh, comfortable how?
Here's how. At the start, everything was hard, so everything made you grow. But now you've built a comfort zone. You watch the same kind of shows, you have the same kinds of conversations, you use the same words you already know. You're using English, but only the English you've already mastered, so you stop growing.
So I'm just practicing the stuff I'm already good at?
You're practicing the stuff you're already good at. It feels productive, but it's like a runner who only ever jogs the same easy, flat path. Comfortable, but no new strength. To grow again, you have to make it a little hard again. Growth lives just outside the comfort zone, always.
So how do I make it hard again without making it miserable?
Great question. And the answer is raise the difficulty just slightly. Not a lot, just one step up. If your shows are easy, watch something a bit faster or more advanced. If your conversations are simple, try a deeper topic. If you always write short messages, try a longer one. Small, uncomfortable steps up. That's where the growth hides.
One step harder, not 10.
One step harder, not 10. 10 steps up is overwhelming and you quit. One step up is doable and it wakes your brain back up. And here's a specific one I love. Change what you do with English. If you've only been listening and reading, start speaking and writing. Producing is harder than receiving, and it breaks plateaus fast.
So switch from input to output.
Switch from input to output. Many people plateau because they only ever consume, watch, read, listen, and never produce. The moment you start actually speaking and writing, you find all the gaps, and filling those gaps is rapid new growth. Output is often the exact handle on the door.
Producing shows me what I don't know yet.
Producing shows you exactly what you don't know yet. When you just listen, you feel like you know everything. When you try to say it, suddenly, oh, I can't actually produce this. That discovery is uncomfortable, but it's gold. It points you straight at your next area of growth. The plateau breaks the moment you start producing.
Give me one more handle. I'm collecting doors now.
Collecting doors. Here's a great one. Go narrow and deep instead of wide. On a plateau, learning more random words barely helps, but picking one specific skill and drilling it, that breaks through. Like, spend 2 weeks only on phrasal verbs, or only on sounding natural in phone calls, or only on telling stories in the past tense. One narrow target.
So instead of a little bit of everything, a lot of one thing.
A lot of one thing, because at the intermediate level, study English is too vague to move the needle. You already know general English. What breaks the plateau is getting specific, attacking one particular weakness with focus until it clicks, then pick the next one. Narrow and deep beats wide and shallow every time, once you're past the basics.
And another?
Get feedback from outside yourself. On a plateau, you often can't see your own mistakes anymore. They've become invisible habits. So a teacher, a language partner, even an app that corrects you can point at things you literally cannot notice alone. Someone showing you one blind spot can unlock weeks of stuck progress instantly.
Because I can't fix what I can't see.
You can't fix what you can't see. And after a while, your own errors become invisible to you. You've made them so many times, they feel correct. A fresh pair of ears catches them in seconds. That outside view is often the fastest handle of all. You don't have to find every door alone. Sometimes someone just points at it for you. Now let me give you the gentlest, most important truth about plateaus, because I don't want you to fight yours with panic. Sometimes the answer isn't to push harder. Sometimes it's to trust the flat road.
Trust the flat road, even when it feels like nothing's happening?
Especially then, because here's what I've seen again and again. People on a plateau, quietly keeping going, feeling like failures, and then one day, suddenly, they jump to a new level. A conversation just flows. A film suddenly makes sense, and they're shocked because they thought nothing was happening. But the plateau was secretly preparing that jump the whole time.
So progress isn't a smooth line. It's flat, 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 then jump.
Flat, 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 then jump. That's exactly how language learning actually looks. Not a smooth diagonal line going up. It's stairs. You spend a long time on a flat step, feeling stuck, and then suddenly you leap up to the next step.
The flat part isn't the opposite of the jump. The flat part is what creates the jump.
The boring flat step is loading the next leap.
The boring flat step is loading the next leap. So when you're on the flat part, you're not failing, you're winding up. Like pulling back a slingshot. Nothing seems to move while you pull, and then it flies. Your plateau is the pullback. Don't let go of the slingshot right before it launches.
So many people quit during the pullback.
So many people quit during the pullback, right before the launch. They can't see the jump coming, so they assume it never will, and they walk away. 1 week, 1 month before the breakthrough. That's the real heartbreak of the plateau. Not the flatness itself, but quitting during it. How do I know if I should push harder or just trust the flat road?
Beautiful question. Simple rule. If you've gotten too comfortable, push a little, raise the difficulty, switch to output. But if you're already working and challenging yourself and still feel flat, then trust the road and keep going. Either way, the answer is never to quit. It's either push gently or trust and continue. Never stop.
Push gently or trust and continue, but never stop.
Push gently or trust and continue, but never ever stop. That's the whole handbook for plateaus right there.
Can I say the thing that actually got me off my plateau in case it helps someone?
Please, real stories help the most.
I stopped trying to get better and just started using English for something I actually cared about. I found people online who loved the same weird hobbies as me, and I talked to them in English about those hobbies. I forgot I was even studying, and that's exactly when I improved.
That's such a perfect example, Ethan. You stopped studying English and started living in English. And that's often the real secret to breaking a long plateau. Stop treating English as a subject to improve and start treating it as a tool to do things you love. The improvement sneaks in through the side door while you're having fun.
The side door? I wasn't looking, so it wasn't scary.
The side door is the best door. When you're focused on the hobby, the game, the friendship, the recipe, the English just grows because you're using it for real, with stakes and joy and meaning. No pressure, no measuring, no plateau anxiety. Just real life happening to be in English. That's when people often leap the furthest.
So the cure for the plateau might be to forget about the plateau entirely.
Sometimes the cure for the plateau is to forget it exists. Go do something you love in English with real people for real reasons, and let your English quietly climb while your attention is somewhere happier. You came to English to live a bigger life. On the plateau, that's not a distraction from progress. It might be the progress itself.
Live the bigger life now. Don't wait for fluency.
Live the bigger life now. Don't wait at the plateau for permission to start using your English for joy. Use it today, imperfectly, on the things you care about. That's both the point of the whole journey and the way through the flat part. Beautiful how that works. Okay, people, let's pull this all together because I want you to see your plateau completely differently now. Here's the big idea. Feeling stuck is not a sign you've failed. It's a sign you've already come a long way.
Stuck means I already climbed high.
Stuck means you already climbed high. At the start, progress was fast and obvious because everything was new, big boulders on the pile. Now you're adding fine sand, grain by grain. You're still improving, maybe more than ever, but it's quiet and invisible now. Progress didn't stop, it just got subtle.
And some improvements I can't even measure.
Some improvements you can't measure at all. Speaking more smoothly, understanding faster, feeling more relaxed. Real growth that doesn't show up as countable new words. Your brain is buffering, consolidating, turning shaky knowledge into permanent, solid English. The flat part is where things become permanent. It's not wasted time, it's the most important time.
And if I got too comfortable, push 1 step up.
If you got too comfortable, push 1 step up, not 10. Watch something slightly harder, go 1 topic deeper, and especially switch from input to output. Start speaking and writing, not just listening and reading. Output reveals your gaps, and filling them is fast new growth. Output is often the handle on the door.
And if I'm already trying hard, trust the flat road.
Trust the flat road. Progress isn't a smooth line, it's stairs. Flat, 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 then a sudden jump to a new level. The boring flat step is secretly loading the next leap, like pulling back a slingshot. Nothing moves while you pull, and then it flies. Don't let go right before the launch.
Push gently or trust and continue. Never stop.
Push gently or trust and continue. Never stop. Because the wall was always a door, people. Every person who now speaks beautiful, fluent English stood exactly where you're standing, feeling exactly this stuck. Sure, they'd stopped improving. The only difference between them and the ones who quit is that they stayed on the flat road one more day, and then one more, until the jump came.
The jump is coming. I just can't see it yet.
The jump is coming, and you can't see it yet, but it's closer than it feels. All right. Take a breath. You're not stuck. You're winding up. Keep going and let the flat road do its quiet work.
Stay on the road one more day.
Stay on the road one more day. Perfect. Okay, time to wrap up. Every time, take care of your English.
And take care of your heart.
This is Linda.
And this is Ethan. You've been listening to Speak English Anyway.
Bye, everyone. If you feel stuck today, remember, you're not standing still. You're winding up for the jump.
And I'll see you all on the plateau. I'll put the kettle on. We won't be here long.